Holy what's good in the hood, boy Ninja Senku. In today's video I got a lot of information and a lot of news about our next upcoming DLC, so make sure you guys do so stick around because I'm gonna be providing a lot of information and a lot of detail to all of that, so make sure you guys do stick around. Now if you guys have not watched this video appearing up on screen right here, make sure you guys do so check that out. And if you guys are watching this video and you guys aren't subscribed, make sure you grab your friend and both of you family rusting on that subscribe button. We're running to 4K and we're gonna kick this video off with a banger, so get comfortable, get everything you need, get your snacks, get your chips, get your candy, get your drink, and let's get into this video.
Would you please put on that one beat?
Stay with me, little bitch, yeah, you know that I'm your man. You be capping like a snitch, no thoughts, won't stand. 2 hoes, 10 toes, new guac on the bands. New wig, new chips, new kicks, Jackie Chan, as she play. Bad bitch, no bag, I just hit another lick and she be counting in my rest. I be feeling hella rich, no Brian, honey step, about to make another hit, got bitch in my life.
Now, with a lot of things going on with the new season and stuff like that and all the improvements and updates, Season 5 has been going very well and very smooth, although there's a lot of things that can be improved and there's a lot of secrets and a lot of things that remain still that hasn't been unfolded. But in today's video, I'm pretty much going to try to crack the unfolded, if that makes any sense, about our next upcoming DLC. Because so far, we got in Season 5, and the name and the theme of Season 5 is the Legacy Pack. And with this Legacy Pack, we've been granted with our new DLC, well, our first DLC being Sage Madara, and he came through as a healer type. Now, him being a healer type changed the whole fighting field for healers, which is pretty cool. Now, we also was granted with the new map renovation, which was pretty odd because with the map renovation, it was a snow map, but we got the map for winter. So therefore, we're probably getting something huge for, you know, winter season, and only time will tell. Now, not only that, we also was granted with the latest DLC that we just recently got, which was Tamari, and she came through as a range type. Not only that, we also have gotten some sneak peeks of our 2 winter DLCs, which is Baramo, Naruto, and Ishiki. Now, with all that out of the way, pretty much our cards are pretty much unfolded already for our DLCs, but we still have one that is standing, and that this one is questionable, and a lot of people have a lot of predictions and a lot of speculations about this specific DLC that we are getting next. Now, I have a lot of speculations as well, and I have a lot of cards that have a lot of names filled with a lot of people who are candidates for the next DLC. But I also have something that a lot of you guys may have not even noticed that I can throw out there real quick that can also disqualify some people and also qualify some people for our next upcoming DLC. Now, a lot of you are probably scratching your heads right now and wondering, Senku, what do you mean by that? Now, what I mean is basically during the Season 5 trailer, they showed up 5 characters on the screen before they showed everything else. Why? Why is that? Now, basically where I'm going with this is because usually every season we get 5 DLCs. And we only have 4 classes, so therefore we end up getting 2 of the same classes. Now, where this is going is basically because when they showed 5 characters on the screen, if you look at the weapons they're holding, that could reveal the classes that we're getting for this season. A lot of people will assume that we're getting 2 range type, but it's probably possible that we're going to get 2 defense classes. Now, why do I say this? If you look at this guy right here, he's holding nothing but just his fist. So that could possibly be an attack type, and representing that attack type most likely could be Baramo Naruto. Now, if you look at this character right here who has a sword on their back, that represents a healer. So the healer we just recently got was Madara. Then you see this character right here is holding a kunai. You can just barely see it because the Shinobi Striker logo is like right in front of him, but he's holding a kunai. So that's representing a range type, which we just recently got a range type being Tamari. Now, if you look at the back, you see 2 guys holding big swords representing defense classes. So we might get Jigen as a defense class. I feel like he should go range, but we could possibly get him as a defense class. And then our next DLC could possibly be a defense class. So I'm going to show a bunch of characters on the screen and basically go through their movesets who qualify. Well, actually, I'm not going to determine if they qualify. I'm going to let you guys comment down below and you guys determine whether they qualify for a defense class or as our next DLC. All right, now the first person on my list is going to be Kankuro. Now, why do I say Kankuro? Is because we just got Tamari and we already have Gara, so maybe they want to complete the team. maybe they don't. It's up to you guys. Comment that down below. But I'm just going to get straight into his jutsus, and you guys determine if he qualifies as our next DLC. Now, as his first jutsu is basically where he sends a single puppet at his opponent. Now, when the puppet hits their opponent, basically it hits them and then dismantles his entire limbs or whatever, and then basically stabs them at different places. Now, as for his second jutsu, it's probably something you're going to have to use on the ground. Is basically where he places two puppets and he swings them in a circle and hitting anybody within that radius. And his ult will be this. Now, the next person on this list is going to be EDO Deidara. Now, why do I say Deidara? It's because, one, we're getting a lot of EDO Akatsuki members. Like, we got Nagato, we got Itachi, we got Madara, with somewhat in the Akatsuki, but we might get Deidara because of that. And not only that, we deserve another Deidara because the one they gave us is kind of trash, because you can block his bird move, his detonating birds, which discards the point of the entire move. And then his C2 dragon just sits there and shoots dragons. When Deidara does stuff like this, he usually gets on their back and rides them as if they're transportation. Then they shoot stuff. He doesn't just place them on the ground and then they just shoot. Then he has two other jutsus that are in VR missions but aren't playable for characters, and we don't even have his hairstyle in the game, so I feel like we could benefit a lot from another Deidara. Now, whether he would be a defense class or as our next DLC is up to you guys. Alright, now, his first jutsu is basically where he gets on a bird and then he basically rides and then bumps into them, causing the opponent to explode. Now, if they block, it also breaks their guard because it's detonating in front of them. As for his second jutsu, is basically where he places a bird and then rides up into the air. Now, while he's in the air, he basically place an explosion and then it grows into a giant explosion, and when it hits the ground, it basically has a wide radius of an explosion. Now, if you do end up missing people, the bird is still an explosion itself, so you still can swoop down and crash it into somebody and still detonate. Now, as for his ultimate, I had to pull this out of the anime and not out of Storm because I had to get creative with this. Now, basically for his ultimate, it's basically where he lies there baiting his opponent to think that he's weakened. Now, when they try to go in for an attack, he basically traps them and then pulls them into a C4. Now, once they're in the C4, they're basically trapped with a bunch of microscopic explosions, and that let alone with his explosion as well. But the only way they can escape the same way Sasuke used is with lightning. Now, if the user isn't using lightning, they're trapped into the C4 and then they'll explode. Alright, now the next person on this list is going to be Momoshiki. Now, why do I say Momoshiki? Honestly, why not? I feel like we do need him in the game, but whether he can fall for a defense class or whether he can be our next DLC, it's totally up to you guys. Right now, as his first jutsu is basically where he uses the Rinnegan on his hand and absorbs jutsu. Now, a lot of people probably gonna be like, this is basically a watered down version of Kawaki's Strange Taste. Well, it's actually not, because with this one you can actually do a really good counter, and is basically throwing a kunai at his hand. Now, as his second jutsu is basically where he throws a fireball and the fireball basically turns into a phoenix, and when it hits somebody, it explodes into a fire tornado. And for his ult will be this. Alright, now the next person on this list is Kaguya Otsutsuki. Why Kaguya Otsutsuki? It's because I feel like she should have been the very first Otsutsuki in the game, and I feel like she should have been in the game, but it'd be nice to have her as the next DLC. Now, whether she's going to be our next DLC or whether she should be a defense class is completely up to you guys. Alright, now her first jutsu is basically an evasion jutsu where she basically goes to a different dimension, causing her to be unseen by anyone nearby. Alright, now her next jutsu is basically where she does like a ton of punches, and then the last punch is like her final strike or whatever, doing a lot of damage. Now, it's her ultimate, she's gotta have that monster true second ore. Roll the clip. Alright, now the last person on this list is the most likely to fall as our next DLC because he falls under the defense class and he also relates to Madara and stuff like that, and that guy is Ten Tails Obito. A lot of people are highly requesting this guy to be our next DLC, and I understand why. Let's go over his jutsus. Alright, now as his first jutsu is basically where he uses the orbs and inform them into small blasts and blasts at his opponent. But these are still true seeking orbs, so when it hits you, you lose your jutsus. Alright, now as his second jutsu is basically where he used the same thing, but instead of small blasts, it's like a large blast. Now as his ultimate, he's going to be using the sword of Nunuboko. Alright, now with all that out of the way, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other candidates, but just if I miss anybody, comment that down below. And I know a lot of these people didn't really fit under the defense class, but Shinobi Striker do throw a lot of curveballs at us for no reason. Like they did that with Naruto, made him a healer. They did it with Itachi, making him a healer. Same with Madara, making him a healer. So they throw a lot of curveballs. Hell, they can even throw the ramen guy in the game and make him a defense type, just like I said last time. So this game is pretty unpredictable, but you know, just let me know how you guys feel about it, about everything in the comments down below, and who's your pick and why and stuff like that. And I'm gonna cut it for this video. Appreciate all the love and support, and if you guys aren't subscribed, make sure you guys do so subscribe. Make sure you guys like up the videos, try to get at least 50 likes, or you know, yeah, 50 likes is the goal on this video. And without further ado, to all my ninja out there, throw your triggers in the air and last vanish. Embrace the vision.
Why is you tripping? Baby girl, why is you tripping? No, hey, some don't know, some don't know, hey, some don't know, some don't know, hey, some don't know, some don't know, hey, how you feel now? Baby talking to the boss, now I'm the deal now. Baby talking all this shit, like how you feel now? I got them racks now, I got them stacks now.